this empty playbook I'm gonna start with, and just help you guys kind of understand how to build an offensive game plan. I'm getting a lot of questions in my inbox, and um, just general questions on how to improve your gameplay and get better at the game. The first step is to creating a solid foundation through your playbook, and then using it to create an offensive game plan to attack the your opponent. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna post this stream link, and then we'll get started. Alright guys, for purposes of parity, I know my last offensive game planning video was on a spread offense and like the run and shoot concept. So for this one I want to do a sort of like a power run offense based around, under center formations, and use that to open up the passing game. Unlike the run and shoot, where it was mostly passing to open up the runs, this is going to be the opposite. And there will be more under center runs here in this format, in this playbook, than there usually are. But so the first thing we want to do is we want to find what our base runs are going to be out of what formations, right? And at the same time, we want to be looking for what we want our base pass concept to be. So to do that, you have to go into all plays, of course, and let's say we want to start in I formation. So from here, you want to find what your base formations and concepts are going to be. So let's just go to Pro, because I think Pro has the most options right now for concepts. So say we want to be you can be a zone running team, sort of like Kyle Shanahan out of under center. We could do that. So let's start with that. Let's say one of our base is going to be stretch and inside zone. So stretch is a outside zone concept in most cases, and so you see this formation here, iForm Pro, it has stretch and inside zone, and it also has these Mike and Wills, which I believe, someone can correct me, but I believe they are on the game. I believe they're blocked zone blocking. At least I'm pretty sure this one is. The 94 will. But I believe both of them are. So those would uh, go into this playbook as well if we were doing um, zone a zone running scheme, sort of like Kyle Shanahan. So that's what we'll go with for now. Actually, there's a weak zone here, so we wouldn't even mess with these down here. It does have a motion in it though, so we'll have to find something that some plays that kind of go with that. We also have a motion stretch here, so that goes along with it. Motion misdirection that could go with it if the misdirections on this game just aren't programmed very well, and they take so long to develop. So we'll leave that out just for sake of adding stuff in that's going to actually be effective. Alright, so play action wide receiver slide. So this is going to be off the same motion as the stretch. So you would want to add this in as just a play off of that stretch, just so you have both there. Same with the Z slide, has the same motion across the formation. You could add in the motion zone. That's going to be the strong side zone, and that's just going to give you an extra hat. I honestly, I think this is sort of like what I don't know if anybody watched the game last night, but a lot of teams are doing now. They're motioning in their number one wide receiver like that in the red zone, mostly on the goal line area or inside the 5, and just giving an extra hat like that. That wide receiver will attack a linebacker through the gap, and it just gives you an extra hat. And that's what most guys are, or most teams are doing in the red zone now. Alright, so now that we have our runs out of this formation, we want to find what our base passing concepts are going to be. Alright, so our basic passing concepts, I think most people on the wall posted that they do, let's see, spot, I think was number 1 so far in the voting. So we got spot. Let's see if we can find a spot in here. Looks like a lot of play actions in this formation. Bear with me. I'm doing this live, so it's not going to be as edited. It's not going to be edited at all, actually, as if I was to chop and screw it and fix it up so everyone could enjoy it, which I may end up doing later. But I just wanted to come out with you guys and do this live since I have some time to do it right now. Looks like there's not going to be a spot per se out of this formation, so we'll have to just come up with something else here. Alright, so let's see what other concepts are in here. Looks like a lot of flood. Shit ton of flood in here. Alright, so we'll just use dagger. We'll use dagger as one. Dagger's a good beater of, different coverages. It could be cover 2, it could be cover 3. Pretty solid and pretty standard. You're gonna find dagger in most formations, I believe, on this game. And a lot of teams use dagger in real life. It's a very good concept, and a very basic concept, but very, very effective. Let's see here. Alright, so now that we got dagger, that's going to be our number 1. So now we just got to find like a complementary concept that's kind of going to do the opposite of what dagger's doing. Dagger's, stretching the field vertically, so we want to stretch the field horizontally with our concept that we're going to use in conjunction with dagger. So we need to find some like horizontal stretchers here. So this would be a double post, just play action post shot. I don't know what action that is off of. It looks like it may be off the dive, the play action. But that's a double post, so that's another vertically stretching concept. Let's see here. I can't believe there's so much play action in here and not actual like. Well, I guess I can believe that since it's under center, but still, there's just not a lot of. So, all right, so we'll go with flood. We'll use flood as our complementary one. So this is sort of a flood. I know it's a delayed route there. That's sort of one, and we can add in seam 6, 7, 8. That's going to be a flood. Uh, let's see here. What else we got? And so after you get your two your 2, 3 passing concepts you want down, you need to start putting in your play actions based on what runs you're calling. So if this is going to be a zone scheme, then you want to find things off of stretch. So a lot of formations on this game have play action stretch plays that are off of the same motion that the stretch runs are off of. Um, and that's sort of what you want to find in these formations. This is probably not a good formation to start with, just because it's not. They don't have a lot of different options. Um, but anyways, after you find what you want your base runs to be, that's when you and then your base passing concepts. That's when you can really go in and put in your play actions. But your play actions have to be based on um, whatever runs you're adding in. So like this one we added in down here, um, where's it at? Yeah, so these down here, these have the same motions. This is all the same series. So this is going to be a slide, so it's going to be a boot. So that one's not as, um, but it's still gonna make the defense overcommit because you have that motion coming across. So everything in the play looks exactly alike. All right, let's go to another formation because that shit's kind of whack. All right, I think seal back ace. Let's see what we got in here. Let me just go through it real fast before we start diving into this because I don't want it. All right, looks like we got a lot of stuff in here. 12 flats, slant, tight and under, ace wide receiver stretch. Kind of still want to go to a. Let's go to dice slot. Dice slot is usually a pretty solid formation. Alright, so dice slot here. We got inside zone. So we'd add that in because that's one of our base concepts. We have slash, which is another inside zone blocked play. It is same as smash, I believe. I think the difference in this is one of them's like man blocked and the other is zone blocked. So I'll have to dive into that and figure out which one it is. Then we have halfback stretch, so that's going to be our outside zone stretch. So that's that's their base run concept. Then you would just want to go in here and find some play actions off of those. And usually they're pretty close to each other, but this looks like it's going to be a play action off of the stretch, this play action deep post here. And this is like a double post concept, so we'll go with that. You see how the release route on the running back is kind of going out to the flats already? Well, it's kind of like that first little stem there, that's sort of like the same motion as the outside zone or stretch. So that one's going to come in handy in this formation. And it's pretty much how you find what your play actions are going to be is based on what your run motions are. So you don't want to just have in random runs that you're not going to be or random play actions that you're never going to run the actual run that's based off of that play action, if that makes sense. I believe in some formations too that the dive is actually zone blocked for some reason. Let's see. See here. So like there's a lot of plays off the dive. So you have like play action flow here. That's off of the dive. You have let's see here. Hey Tank, here's a bubble screen, but that's kind of a bad bubble screen since it's not out of trips. uh, but you see what I'm saying? Just like with coordinating plays here, like this is the same motion, but it's a run play. But this is the pass play corresponding to that. That's kind of what you want to go for. You want to kind of find those plays that look exactly like the runs or the passes that you're going for. Um, see here. So play action slot crosses. That looks like it's going to be off the dive as well. So you could add that in there. You got the draw shot. You got the comeback. I don't know. This could be off of the weak side zone. These are things you just have to go into the lab and test. So like you add this stuff in, you take it into practice mode, and you're like, all right, is this play action off of inside zone? Is this play action off of stretch? Is this play action off of any of my run concepts? Because that's really what you got to find out. So here's a dagger. We'll add that in since that was in our other formation. And then like see this one right here. This one's obvious. This one's off of the power. So this one is off of the power O pull. So you would add this in if you're running on power scheme. So you'd add play action, the O pull, and the actual power run that's in here. And then that would give you a complementary pass that's off of your run, your base run. So you would add this halfback power in right here, and then go down and add in play action power O pull. So that would give you the same look, but I don't, one's a run, one's a pass. Let's see. So let's get back to the list here and see. So after you figure out what your base runs, your play action passes, and your base pass concepts are going to be, then you need to start adding in like your screens. So these are like situational play calls, right? So screens are going to be when you have the defense overcommitting, you have them, stacking the box and sending probably more just because you've been running it down their throats maybe. So you want to add in your screens. You want to add in just play calls that like your bubble screen here. You can even add in the draw bubble if you wanted to. This is a horrible formation to add the bubble into because, like I said, it's not trips. Unless so for some reason they're leaving that slot uncovered, this bubble screen would probably never work. I'm not sure. Just depends on, I guess, the coverage. But here's the spot, which a lot of people like. Apparently, that's one of the go-tos, which it is used a lot in NFL. Spot is a big concept that's used, along with dagger and a few others. Let's see here. So we have. So after that, after you figure out what your bases are going to be, you got to figure out like what beats what coverage, right? So you need to go in and be like, all right, well. What are going to be my cover 3 beaters? What are going to be my cover 2 beaters within my base concepts? You know what I mean? So you would go into dagger here. Where was it at? Where is it at? I think it's down here. Yeah, so you go into X dagger and you just look at this, examine this this concept, right? So what in this play beats what coverage? All right, so you got a comeback over there. You got a looks like a deeper drag or over, and you have a seam by your slot, and then you have a deep dig by your number 1 receiver. So what does dagger beat? Well, dagger can be cover 3, cover 2, just depending on what concept or what routes are also in that dagger play. So like weak side over here, you have, I guess, play side, you have the dagger concept, but on the back side you have a comeback, right? I mean, that comeback's kind of by himself, so it's an isolation play. So that's going to be like man, if it's cover one or man or something that may beat it because the receiver's going to come back to the ball. So it's gonna look like a vertical stretch and he's going to come back. So that's probably going to beat man. It'll probably, let's see, I'm trying to think that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look up some stuff I wrote up earlier. Okay, looks like Bdot's gonna join us, so I'm gonna send him an invite, and he'll help me break this stuff down for you guys. So like I know that this play right here, this Z post Y out, that's a great cover three beater. That zig on the left side, that's going to, unless it's hard flat, that's going to be open against just normal cover three. And then because you have that vertical stretch for that dig, so it's gonna pull those zone defenders up, and that's gonna leave that zig on the outside there. And then on the back side you have the post out concept. Just give me 1 second. I'm sending Bdot an invite. Oh yeah, TM. I don't know if you're listening, but yeah, I use that website. I don't know if I've shared it yet. I recently saw it on Twitter, I believe, and it's a very useful tool. It actually shows you how to read certain coverages as well. So like if you click on, I think it is the spot concept, it'll tell you like how you're supposed to read that. So the spot concept, and I'll show you after I invite Bdot. Alright, so the spot concept, let's go to spot. So you got Z spot here. So Z spot, this is just a basic triangle read here on the right side on the where the spot is. So you would want to read, you'd want to read, you have three routes over there, so you'd read 1, 2, 3, right? Because it's a triangle read. So you would read your flat route because that's just your quick hitter, and then you would read the spot, and then if you notice that it's cover two, that corner from your tight end is gonna be up and right. So
Yo, can you hear me?
yeah, what's up, man?
Fucking over here getting fucking terrorized by my children terrorist.
Nice, dude. Fucking children terrorist.
My daughter just shit all over me in my favorite sweater.
Hell
Fucking,
no, bro.
I'm pissed, dog. I'm pissed. And then she shit all over me, right? And she was in her little swing. So I'm thinking that okay, she shit on me. Like it's okay, I gotta wipe it off. So I wipe it off, whatever. I throw my sweater in the dirty clothes, whatever, and I go to put her back in the swing. But what actually happened is she shit in the seat.
Oh my
So
god.
I go to put her back in the seat, and then it gets shit all over me again. So yeah,
Oh
bro,
my
I'm having a
god.
rough morning,
I do
but it's
not
all good.
I do not envy you, bro.
Hey man, I'm telling you. Just have one, bro. And then that's the thing, man. I got two, man. So it's like having my son's only two, so he's
Yeah.
still running around being a little badass. So it's like I have twins. I have like two crazy babies, bro. Don't do it, bro. Just have one and then call it a day.
Yeah. Oh, snap, that's funny. So yeah, we're live right now. Actually, Bdot. I don't know if you have your voice. I don't know if you have your voice up for sharing or whatever on the stream. But
How do you do it? I don't know. What
let's
do I
see.
do?
I'm
What do I
I'm
do?
gonna see if it's. I'm gonna check my stream to see real quick if it's live. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Your voice is on there.
You can
But
hear me?
yeah, so
All right.
basically, I was just. I don't know if you saw me post, but I was just going with like going over playbook building and offensive game planning. Um, And I was just going into like, so first you want to, that checklist I posted earlier? I don't know if you saw it, but it was like find your base run, find your base passing concepts, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. I screenshot that. Yeah.
yeah, and then add in your play action passes off of your base runs because you want them to have the same action. If they don't have if your play actions don't have the same action as your base runs, then they're worthless.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
So you want to add in that. So that's kind of what I was doing. I was just going through a playbook and explaining like how to basic, just basic level how to set up a playbook. And then after you get those base concepts in, you want to figure out okay, what why did I pick those passing concepts as my base? What do they beat? Do they beat cover
Right.
two? Do
Right.
they beat cover three? What in those
Right.
beat cover two and cover three? Because in a lot of different concepts like dagger, for instance, you'll have dagger on the play side, and then you'll have some other mini concept or whatever on the on
On
the
the
on the
backside.
on the backside. So yeah, so there's different. You can have dagger in a multiple of formations, but it also give you
Right.
other options on the backside.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Yep.
that's what you kind of like. You can have it like say if there were 15 daggers in this formation, put them all in,
Right.
and because on the backside they're probably going to have something that's uh going to beat something else like a smash or like a something else.
Right.
So
You see,
you want
honestly, I'm
everything
gonna
to
learn a
look the
lot from
same.
you right here, bro. Because I like honestly, I don't even do that well with it. Like I kind of like randomly go from scheme to scheme, but to incorporate every scheme to tie into every other scheme in different formations, like that's the key, bro. So I'm probably about to learn a lot from you right here, to be honest.
No, man. Yeah, that's. I mean, you were with me when we were building that playbook on last, man. I mean, that's sort of like what we
Yeah.
did. You know what I mean? We just had the same exact concepts through, you know, 10, 12, 15, 20 formations, whatever. It was this, but they were all the same concepts.
Right.
Um, but like on curl flat, for instance, like you'll have a curl flat that has curl flat on both both sides of the formation, but there's also plays in the same sets that have curl flat on just the play side, or have curl flat on the weak side, and then have other things like switch, or so that's kind of what you want to do. You just want to find what your base concepts are going to be, and you want to make sure they're in all of your formations.
Right.
But we can get into a lab if you want to,
Yeah, let's
and
do it. Let's do it. Just send me an invite. I'm
all
gonna be
right.
trying to like. Well, I'm gonna be learning a lot of what you're doing, as well as trying to figure out a way for me to implement a heavy run option style offense. Only because that's the type of quarterbacks that I have. Like I just turned Logan Thomas into a QB, so I have Tyrod Taylor, Joe Webb, and Logan Thomas. So I have three, option style quarterbacks that don't have any type of other attributes, that I could work with. Like
Yeah.
all their passing ratings suck. So I figured, fuck it. This season I'll just go all out with the option and the heavy run style stuff and see what it gets me.
Yeah, man, and I think you should with that roster the way it is now. I mean, after you get a couple drafts or one or two drafts under you, and or some trades or something, you could maybe make something else work. But for now, I think that is probably one of the better options to go with Tyrod and just the assets that you have currently.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
see here.
actually, it'll be dope if it works. Like that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it works because Then I won't have to. I have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, bro.
Oh
Which I
shit.
didn't even know that. Yeah, I didn't even know like the Bills have that in real life. Like they have 6 picks. They have 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. So I'm looking at it like, man, Tyrod to a long term contract if it works. But if it doesn't, yeah, I probably have to make some moves and try to get like a solid spread style passing QB. You know?
Yeah. So I'm gonna I'm gonna use a playbook that I just started a couple days ago building, and I honestly I finished it up I think this morning after watching that game. I don't know if you saw the Rams 49ers game last night, but it was pretty dope. It was actually the best
No, I
NFL
didn't see
game.
it.
It was actually the best offensively NFL game that's there has been this year.
I didn't even see it.
Like those two head coaches, McVay and Shanahan, dude, they're on a different level. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't like me and Ron were talking. It's like I don't know how you as a defense how you even like they had Wade Phillips. Like the Rams had Wade Phillips, and he couldn't stop Kyle Shanahan with Brian Hoyer. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just tough, man. Like
It's all
it's
about the
just
scheme.
yeah, yeah. Like talk about Kyle Shanahan, man. He's making shit happen. I know they're 0-3 right now, but if you look at last night's game, he's having so much success. He's getting the most out of those guys he has. He hasn't had a draft yet to get like his own players in and stuff yet, but he just needs a quarterback and some other stuff, and I think they're going to be really good.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So I got two playbooks right now. One's Project Pass and one's Project Run. One's just like very spread based, and then
Yeah.
the one I'm running right now is very run based.
So the one that you're lapping with right now is the run based one.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
All right, cool.
So there's gonna be a
And let
lot
me
of
know about the
running.
game. Let me know about the game flow, because for me, for some reason, bro, I don't know, it gets choppy. This is my first year doing it without the Ethernet cord and just going straight Wi-Fi. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have the option to go Ethernet, but Ethernet's always gonna be better, bro. Like you get double the speed that you would get usually. You get double the speed you would get through Ethernet.
No, yeah, I'm trying to probably today. I'll probably go try to buy a Ethernet cord. I'm gonna have to buy like a fucking 20-foot one though, because I gotta my modem is stationed in my room, so I'm gonna have it go all the way out to the living room. But I'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
that's what I have now. I have like a 20-foot one that I got off Amazon. It's going from my bedroom to the living room. I mean, it's definitely not as good as having it super close because you still get latency just because the cord's so long. But it's
Right.
way better than Wi-Fi, especially if
Got
your
you.
PS4 isn't close to your router.
Got you. All right. Good.
So we can kind of talk to the people that are listening or the people that are going to listen later maybe about what we're thinking here through our play calls and stuff. Because
All
one
right.
thing
Bet.
one thing I definitely want to go over is matching. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I feel like that's still a struggle. So it's one running back, one tight end, three wide receiver right here. So if I know he's a running team, I may stay in base. I may go like wide 9-4-3, or I'm gonna go nickel.
Right.
And that's to have a cornerback for each wide receiver that's on the field.
Right.
See how the
Yeah.
cornerback's covering up over here?
Yeah.
Well, see if I go to base align that, nice run. So if I go to base align that cornerback's going to be on the other side of the field, and that wide receiver's going to be uncovered. So it kind of like you're leaving a guy exposed and wide open, like for no reason. So I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that again, but I'm gonna base align to show you guys what I'm talking about.
Those 580 yards, by the way, broke the franchise record for
Oh shit!
quarterback rushing yards set by.
Is that baseline right there?
Nah, not yet. Sorry, I fucked up. Let's see here. Baseline. Actually, this formation lines up right. I don't know what baseline's not even doing anything. All it's doing is just showing blitz out of this formation for some reason.
First down. Out to the flat. That's complete.
I was hitting baseline, but it was showing blitz, unless I was hitting the wrong button.
You probably hit show blitz first, and then it was probably hard to get
Oh
a
yeah,
body.
yeah, it fucked it up probably.
Yeah. So you just want to go over the defense right now, or do you want me to?
No, yeah, I want you to explain too. Yeah, while you're doing it. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So basically, I try to come out. I mean, I definitely am a run first type of offense. So I try to come out and establish the run game first to kind of piggyback off of that with the pass game. But my passing game is very simple. A lot of dagger shit, a lot of flood drive shit. Oh shit.
Nice pass. So that was versus cover one. Cover one is definitely gonna get killed in those wheels and stuff like that. I was trying to see what.
No, go ahead.
I was trying to see what baseline looked like out of cover one. That's all I was doing there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's pretty much the sum of my offense, bro. I'd say like 70% of it is gonna be run option, and then I'm gonna try to piggyback off of that with some good play actions or just some, dagger flood concepts, and try to create mismatches with LaShawn McCoy out the backfield on wheels or flats or things of that nature. So.
Yeah, that's one thing too that people don't understand is matchups. You know what I mean? Like you got to take advantage of whatever matchups you have. That's football. Like if you have a elite wide receiver, you got to get him involved. If you have elite running back, you got to get him involved somehow or another. You got to make it happen. You know what I mean? And that's what you do well with LaShawn McCoy. Like when me and you played a couple weeks ago, like I had to make an adjustment at halftime because I think LaShawn had like 6 receptions for like 100 yards or some shit already. So like I had to make, a conscious effort. So this is single high, right? So this looks like cover 3 to me. It could be cover 1.
I don't even know what I picked, bro, because I was looking at my phone and I think the computer picked for me. I'm sorry. So
my adjustment there was single high coverage. So I'm guessing that's cover 3, and it was. So on the back side over there, you got that zig route and you got that deep dig. So those two are spaced really well, and they're going to kill cover 3. That's one of the good concepts that if you can read cover 3 pre-snap and check to something like that, and you have to have your playbook set up well. Yeah. Because if you don't have your audible set up, you're not going to be able to beat the coverage that you're reading pre-snap.
Right.
So I'm getting double high here. So this looks like it's going to be to man, right? Or man or cover 2, either one. So double high, you can run against it pretty well.
And the key thing on that is the alignment of the safeties, because then that tells if it's cover 4.
Yeah. I didn't even. Yep, exactly. And the alignment of the corners too. If the safeties are playing up and the corners are playing back, it's cover 4. So that's how you recognize that. I should have saw that, but I was too busy with the clock running down.
Yeah.
So again, this is double high. This looks more like cover 2 because the safeties are playing further back. Could be cover 4 again. Guess we'll see. So this was cover 2.
Right.
So against cover 2, those fade smashes, things like that, things that stress the outside boundaries of the defense, those are those safeties, because those safeties have everything outside of the hashes, right? So those things that stress that, plus that double post concept, there's no way cover 2 is going to cover that at all.
Right.
There's just too much stress being put on the cover 2 for that to work. So that's something you have to recognize pre-snap and even after the snap. Like there's a lot of cover 3 show 2 and cover 2 show 4, all that stuff on here. So it's not only recognizing what defense your opponent's in pre-snap, but also recognizing what it is post-snap.
Right.
I'm gonna have to call a timeout here. I don't know how that play clock worked on that.
I know that shit went by fast, huh?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Let's see here.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Oh shit.
Alright, so this is a formation that's kind of hard to cover. It's kind of hard to cover up and be right in it. Because you got an extra hat in the backfield, you got a fullback. So it's like he's showing blitz here. Or he just switched to cover 3, either one. So if he switched to cover 3, let's say he did, this would be the check. Because this is a flood concept.
Yeah, so what happened was I was already in man, and so I just showed blitz to bring the safety down in the box.
Yeah.
You know, to cover the run better.
Yeah, and that's how you kind of can bluff and like disguise your defense. Because I honestly thought that was at first I knew it was double high, so I was like, it's either going to be man or something like that. But then when you brought that guy down, I was like, okay, it's cover 3 or cover 1.
Right.
Because that's the single high coverages. But it could have just been show blitz too. So there's a lot of pieces too. You just got to read. You got to be able to read it post snap. That's the key. Is okay. You can get an idea pre snap, but you got to also be able to read it post snap. So this is a Texas concept. Texas is just going to usually have a running back route and then a post over it from the slot. And a lot of the Texas, it can be on the same side where the running back's doing the angle route on the same side as the post or whatever. But let's see here. I guess I gotta start picking my plays faster. Just trying to go through everything and explain while we're doing it.
Yeah.
So you see, like right here, see how Sanu's uncovered? There's nobody on top of him. So you kind of gonna adjust and bring a guy over top of him, right? So that's what we mean when we say cover up a wide receiver. You don't ever want to leave a wide receiver uncovered, because if he would have left that uncovered right there, that corner route would have been wide open for a touchdown against cover 2. But since it was in the red zone like that, he played it really well. That cover 2 cornerback played that really well. He played the corner since it was just compressed and against, the back was against the end zone. So this is a Mabel defense. So this is good against flood and anything that's putting stress horizontally.
And for me, I always kind of go, especially on first down, I'll go into a run if I see 2 safeties high. I just feel like there's less a chance of them to come in and make a play or be inside the box. So I kind of just check to a run majority of the time, unless I have like a for sure, unless I for sure feel like it's cover 2 and I have a cover 2 beater in my audibles or something. Then I'll check to it sometimes, but majority of the time I'll go ahead and run that.
Yeah, I think Roger just posted that drive follow and slant shoot is his favorite in real life. Drive follow, the problem with it on the game is the spacing is horrible. I don't know if you've tried to run drive, but just a normal user can, and even the computer can cover both routes on a drive. Which a drive is just a drag by usually the slot and a deep end by the, I think it's like a 10, 15 yard end by the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But as a user and even
you can cover both. You can like bluff and cover both. It's crazy.
Oh shit!
I don't know what happened, but your corner over there is fucked up.
Yeah, I gotta get him over there. Oh shit! That's the wrong guy. Hold on. I think I came out and he was, for some reason he was
bad call. Bad throw.
You see that tip? That shit's funny. He like punched the ball up in the air. That is
I made a
funny.
bad read on there. I tried to squeeze it in between the safety and the corner. I should have just hit the deep end.
I added in some stuff that I saw last night. Me and Ron labbed after that Thursday night football game last night, and I added in some stuff that they were doing, and he did as well.
That's dope.
Yeah.
The play clock's running down. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman.
So that was single high. I'm guessing cover 3. Yeah. Cover 3 is definitely stops the run better than cover 2, just because you have an extra safety in the box.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on the nickel wide 9? Like, what's the difference between normal and wide 9 for you?
So wide 9 is the defensive line spread apart more, right? So it's more of a long distance, down and distance, or a pass heavy against a pass heavy team, because it's more like a pass rushing set than anything.
Oh shit, good play. Oh, nasty.
So that's a play right there that the Rams last night were running on repeat. But what they were doing is, and I'll show you on the next drive, that they have a bunch of other like inside zones and outside zones off of that same motion, right? So he'll motion that wide receiver reverse with Tavon Austin, so it'll bring like 2 or 3 defenders every time, and then that leaves the middle open, and then the time that they don't bite on it, he hands it off, right? And Tavon Austin goes in for a touchdown, or what was almost a touchdown. So that's just things that you have to set up as an offense. You have to have plays that look like one another, and you have to keep the defense honest somehow. And that's the only way to do it, is to mix in plays that look exactly alike and have the same action off of them.
Yeah, that's a fact. I need to do better at that. That's the fact right there. Sure.
But you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
And that's another thing too. People ask me like, okay, so what defense should I come out in versus this guy or whatever? And I'm like, well, it all depends on, is this guy been beating you in the running game? Has he been running down your throat, or out of 3 wide, or has he been passing, all over your head out of 3 wide? And that's the biggest question is, out of 3 wide, what do I do? It's like, all right, well, out of 3 wide, are you getting beat by passing, or are you getting beat by running? Because that really matters. If you're getting beat by passing, then come out in nickel or something, a little better. A little has more DBs on the field. Oh shit.
It's like Rashawn just stopped. Like, he didn't even.
Yeah, he didn't continue with that motion. It was weird. I don't know if it's because there was 2 defenders coming out there, so he was getting kind of got confused. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in the same instance, against Bdot, for instance, I know he's a run first type of guy right now with the offense he's got. So I'm gonna come out in 4-3. I'm gonna come out in my base defense and make him pass it. You know what I mean? Oh shit. I'm not going to come out in nickel and keep getting ran on. I see guys, one of the problems in the league right now is I'll see guys come out and nickel double A gap on the goal line, on the 1 yard line, against a 2 tight end or a 2 running back set. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
I'm like, what are you doing? That's not going to stop anything. All they got to do right there is check inside zone, and it's over, or anything at that point. If you're coming out on the 2 yard line.
A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. Rolling to his right. Some space
Got caught up.
He gets it down a yard or too shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
So Fern sent me a message and said, like, for instance, yesterday, I played a guy that set in cover 4-3 cover 3 sky. I tried a lot of plays, but it wasn't effective. So you got to realize what cover 4 or cover 3, what do you say, sky is. So after you realize what cover 3 sky is, then you can kind of look at what the zones play and what they don't. And that's where you come up with your passing concepts that so what do you say, 4-3 cover 3 sky. So I'll try to run that depending on what you're running. Yeah.
4-3 cover 3 sky is just giving up the flats.
Yeah.
It's like you can just kill the flat. You can run passing concepts that pull all the defenders deep, and then you'll have the flats like wide open.
You have the flat open. You should have the flat open. You should have the like any flood open because that nickel or that linebacker, depending on what set you're in, he has to make a decision. Do I cover that flat or do I cover that corner?
Right.
And most of the time he's going to be covering that corner out of just base sky. But say I did this right here and did hard flat. If I do hard flat, that's going to leave the corner open. So it's a give or take. Like cover 3 doesn't shut down everything.
Right.
You just got to be aware of what actually beats that coverage.
Right.
And that's part of the problem is guys are like, well, I tried all these different plays and I can't figure out what, but the thing is that you have to take practice time and go into the lab or do research online. Shit, I mean, football is not a video game concept. Like, football is a real life game. Like, if you go online and look up Spot, or if you go online and look up Smash, or if you go online and look up Drive, or anything, any concept for that matter, like, it tells you what defense it beats. And that's the same with, like, what it should beat on Madden. There are exceptions, of course, like, because of, Madden's not a perfect game, there are exceptions to that, but for the most part, everything that should work works, and everything that doesn't. You know what I mean? So like, you have to put in some time and do some research. I mean, I can send you links and I can explain it on streams. I'm not gonna be able to explain it as good as like some of these like real life coaches are, though. You know what I mean? Like some of these real life coaches have broken this shit down for years. Like all I'm doing is trying to give you guys the information to understand and learn the game is all. Because I only know some, like, my knowledge base only goes so far, you know what I mean? And so does most people in the league. Like, their knowledge base only goes so far. But, like, if you go online, there's plenty of coaches who have been doing this as a career for their whole life that have breakdowns. And, hell, I posted, like, 50,000 links on that Facebook document, you know what I mean? If people really want to start understanding, they have to go in there and take a look at that stuff.
Yeah, that's a fact. And that's what I was telling you the other day or yesterday when we were talking just about, at the end of the day, it's about like how much do you actually like love the game of football and like really want to learn and then like play sim style ball and transfer all of that into like the game. It's a lot. It's a lot if you don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
If you just want to hop on here and play, and I get that. People just want to hop on and play, but if you really want to play sim style ball, you gotta kind of put some research in.
Yeah. Which I understand that too, but like my thing is why be in 5 leagues and just playing 3 games a day if you're not getting any better? Like that's not going to make you any better. The preparation is one of the biggest parts of football, and if you're not prepared for if your offense isn't ready, if your defense isn't ready, you're not going to do well. Like some of these guys that struggled in these leagues every single year don't understand why they struggle. But the reason they struggle is because they don't take the time to learn. They don't take the time to learn football. They try to find stuff on Madden that works. And then when people catch on to their certain plays that work, they're lost because they don't know anything conceptually of like what should work and what does work. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's a fact. Malcolm, chill out, dude. That's crazy, man.
So I'd say the best way to get better, honestly, is to practice. You're not going to get better from just running running crappy games against people that aren't realistically trying to play football. You know what I mean? You're not going to get better doing that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, see, that's the funny thing about this Madden. I guess it's more realistic though. The linebackers, man, they just don't make those athletic plays anymore. But I guess that's a good thing. Maybe it's more realistic.
Well, I
felt like I should have that.
I think too a lot has to do with how you throw the ball. Like, so I threw that ball high because I knew that linebacker. I was trying to fit it in over that linebacker, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
if you bullet past that, it's going to get picked for sure. Like I've seen some 10-yard like digs get picked off on this game from guys that throw bullet passes.
Right. That's true. Look, Malcolm, I got you, buddy. Look, there you go. He's trying to like play with my phone with this little game on my phone, man. It's so annoying. All right. Let's see.
So 1 running back, 3 tight end, 1 wide receiver. You want to come out and base or something heavier than base, like 4-6 or. But I'm gonna come out and base, base over. All right. So you wanna keep everybody. Whoa! What the fuck? Why didn't you do that? Nice, dude. Fuck. Was that a misdirection? What was that?
That's a counter.
Counter. That counter hits fast.
Yeah.
Most counters on the game don't hit that fast. They take so long to develop. That's a good like. I hate to say counter play, but that's a good play out of that formation.
Yeah, it is.
Because you got strong side stuff.
Yeah, and it has an awesome pass play. I'll go back to it in a couple plays and show you that I kind of base that off of. If that runs successful, then I'm able to base a lot of shit off of that works out.
Yeah. Don't worry about the time. I'll decline it if you don't want to.
Yeah,
We're just labbing, bro, so you don't have to call timeout. So I'll just decline them if we need to.
All right, cool.
See how that linebacker had to go cover that wide receiver up over there? It's still a mismatch, right? But because you have a linebacker on a receiver, but if you're expecting this guy to run out of that set, then that's a matchup you're gonna have to be okay with, and that's what that's the struggle that teams face in real life. You have to have a linebacker that's athletic enough to cover a receiver. So that's why a lot of the NFL, they're moving safeties to linebacker, like Mark Barron, example of last night. Like he's now a linebacker with a safety number. And he's there for that reason. You can run bigger sets and still stop the run, but he can still guard a athletic, wide receiver, slot receiver.
That's a fact. You see that play that I just ran off of how successful that counter is?
Yeah.
That shit's dope. I need to run that more during the games. I forget to run it, but it's a cool little setup.
What I would do, honestly, for a lot of people is I would either take that checklist that I just posted earlier, like the that tells you, like, what are my base runs, what are my base passes, fill that out. Either fill that out or go into your playbook and set up your game plan on the game. Because that helps a lot, like, to keep you focused, because in game you shouldn't, like, coaches in real life don't have to go through their entire playbook to figure out what they're running next.
Right.
They have a play call sheet, and they're like, all right, well, this is where we're going next.
Right.
Based on down and distance. Based on this, we have these, 15 plays for this down and distance. So we're going to call this play for this, this time. And then next time, if we get that same down and distance, we'll call this play. Like, there's a sequence to everything.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're not game planning, I mean, you have to be like a freaking wizard, like a genius, to actually call a game plan without the help of game planning in here. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people do. I mean, they just, I see them when they're calling their offense, they're just picking random plays through their playbook, you know what I mean? Like, there's no real rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Unless they are that good with a 500 play playbook, which nobody can be, to like know certain situations and where each play is going to be and, what they should call in every situation.
You should probably do a video on and record yourself game planning and show why you put certain plays, for certain situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't even think a lot of people even understand. Well, I don't want to say they don't. I'm not sure if they do, but I'm not sure. But it'll be dope to see like a video on it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of people don't understand it, but if you, let's see, I shared it a second ago. I don't know if everyone saw it, but like this call, like this, and this is from Cal, so this is from University of California's call sheet, but it tells you like how you should set up your game plan, and you can do the same thing using the Madden game plan, but you want to have your home run plays, and that would be like your tendency plays. You would just call that and on first down or like in a random spot where you think it's going to work after setting up the defense.
Right.
And then the game planning purposes, like you have like in here it's like you want to set your plays up for second and long, second and medium, second and short, third and long, third and medium, third and short. It's like basic. Basic plays that you want to select for each situation.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit comes in handy, man, because even especially like, late game situations, 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense, like there's no way you're going to be like, you going through all the pressure of trying to like stay in the game and trying to be competitive, and then you're thinking about what play. Like, nah, bro, I need that help. I need those coach suggestions, bro, because I sometimes I just blank out. Oh shit.
And that's another thing. Like for the 4-minute offense and 2-minute offense, like teams in real life, they practice that shit at the end of practice every single day. Like they always know. They always have that down, so that way it's just muscle memory once it comes to game time. Like if that situation arises in game, they're ready for it. You know what I mean? Because
it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's gotta be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Time running out here on the play clock. A carry for the big fullback. This is Derek Coleman. And closes quickly. He gets it across the 35
I love that play too.
36-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, too. You can formation. You can add in different players there too.
Yeah. I run that shit too.
You can add in double halfback or whatever.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. He's going to get this one out to
This is a screen off of it.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps
it's
it
nice.
moving.
That's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice.
And that would hit way harder if I were to put Tevin Coleman in at that spot.
Exactly.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. To the flat, that's complete to his running back. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Ryan on second down.
Good read.
Hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this
Ah, shit. Wrong button. Whoops.
On third down, Ryan.
Ooh, drops Sanu.
Incomplete.
We should have had that. Damn, it's weird. But yeah, so that whole series, everything you called was freaking dope because all the concepts work together.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what you want to do, man. Is just make sure everything is working together. Because if it's
the
not,
interesting thing is like people. How do you feel like? Okay, like the whole series that you just called to me was fire, but then you might get somebody saying, "Oh, you keep calling the same plays." You know, like
that's what you do. I mean, that's what I think is one of the biggest misconceptions of sim leagues, is that people in real life, they call the same place for a reason because what the fuck?
Oh, that was a hell of a defensive play.
Yeah. People call the same, and it's not the same. It's not the same play. None of those plays that I called were the same play. They just had the same motion. Because you want the defense, you want the same action in a play. Because that's the whole point. Is like you're trying to take advantage of the defense, like tendencies, right? So if they start jumping certain shit, you want to be able to hit them over the top with one of the other plays that look exactly like the play you called before. So that's what your playbook should be consisted of, is plays that look exactly the same. Like, a lot of people, that's one of the biggest misconceptions in sim leagues, is that you run a concept too much. You know what I mean? Like, there's teams in real life that will run mesh all the way down the field. There are teams in real life that will run, like, the Patriots, for instance. They'll run stick and stick nod all the way down the field if you let them. You know what I mean? And yes, they still have the stick on one side, but they also have other concepts on the back side. You know what I mean? So it's not. That's what I was trying to explain earlier. Like, you want to mix in. You want to have concepts that. You want to have your base concepts, and you want to have concepts that have your base concept in it, but also have other options to beat other coverages.
Absolutely. Yep.
But if someone were to say, "Oh, you're running that," you're running these plays too much, I'd be like, that's the point. Like, you want to have the same action in those plays.
Ooh, good call, good blitz.
You don't want to just come out and run random plays that don't have any correspond to one another at all. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you go back and watch that 49ers versus Rams last night, it was honestly spicier than a lot of college games that we've watched this year. Me and Ron were talking about it. Like, just the play calling was so good. Like, it was exactly like what you want your offense to be doing.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time they were very
I seen you guys chopping it up about it on the message.
Yeah. Trying to get everybody on Discord, but they're still not on that shit.
Yo, Discord is sick, bro. That shit is fire.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. So he's covering up the wide receiver.
Oh.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners.
So second and short is another area where you have the leeway to take a shot if you want to. Like if you wanted to take a shot here, you could. Like this is one of your like sneak attack the defense plays, you know?
Right.
Or options.
And that's why it's key to show like the game planning, you know, when you actually go into that, because what I do for a lot of those like shot plays that I really want to take shots on, I put those in my game plan for like second and shorts, and I put it up to like 4 or 5 stars, you know, because I want it to pop up.
Exactly.
The option going through it, you know.
Yeah, like I've barely set the game plan. Well, I went through and set all the game plan, but I've only got everything at half a star right now for certain situations, if that makes sense. Like, there's nothing over certain any other play right now. Everything's just at 1 star that I want it to be. This for me.
You said that all your plays are only at 1 star
for certain situations, though, right? So like,
okay.
So like not every play is at 1 star for every situation, but it's only for the situations that I need it for, if that makes sense. Because I wanted to test out like, okay, what plays are going to be consistent for that situation, if that makes sense. So like, say for like second and short, I have like 15 plays set for second and short, but they're all at half a star. That way they all pop. That way they all like just randomly pop up. That way I'm not running the same exact plays over and over. You know.
Right. That makes sense.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's brought down.
Man, I cannot find any good blitzes this year. I mean, some of them are cool, but none of them are like, that's like a go-to blitz, you know?
Yeah. Only thing I'd say about that is, yeah, it's hard to find good blitzes. Honestly, it's all about having the front four. Your front four has to be really good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ryan going to give it to Freeman, and he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going.
Because most in real life, most sacks are coming from the front four. I mean, they do send. Yeah, and the problem, one of the issues with Madden is they don't have stunts. There's no like defensive stunts. You know what I mean? So it's hard to replicate it because there's no actual stunts. Oh shit! You dropped that shit? God damn it!
That was crazy.
Brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Okay, Malcolm, chill out.
Play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Oh.
Now it's Ryan.
Oh, good read. That was funny.
Ryan to Toilolo for the Falcon first. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Oh, shit.
And the
My
8th
bad.
play on this drive coming up.
Oh, you good?
This is Freeman on 1st and 10.
Oh, good stiffy.
So we got Freeman. Couldn't do a whole lot else.
Yeah.
Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball.
My wife just messaged me and freaked me the fuck out. She's like, "Do you know what this? Do you know what this is about? This transaction on our bank account?" I was like, "Hell no! That's just like $500. What the fuck?" and she was like, "It was her damn new car payment that she just started up or whatever." So like it came out of like a new place that we hadn't seen before. I was like, "What the hell?" Ah! Wrong fucking cut. Hate when that happens.
Final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, they ran some fire ass shit last night on the goal line. I don't know if I can replicate it, but that shit was crazy. It was out of this formation.
The Rams did, or the?
No, I think it was the 49ers, honestly. It was exactly like that, bro. It was like a stack formation and a double slant, and the cornerbacks are lined up, but they couldn't like it's such a quick hit and play that they can't get hands on the wide receiver that's behind the first wide receiver. So that double slant is just cheating, pretty much. That was like a slant spot, but still. Oh shit.
Bro, my son's like jumping all over me, bro. I might not be able to finish the whole game. We could probably do like another quarter or so, but this dude is like killing me, bro.
That's all good. Whenever you need. Yeah, I just set the time to kind of high, and I took off accelerated clock because I knew we'd be talking and explaining everything.
Gets ready to head back onto the field, and with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively.
So like in this situation, well, not this situation technically, but in like a 2-minute drill, if they're coming out in like two wide receiver, 2 running back, or even 3 wide receiver, you could use nickel. This is where I would use nickel wide 9, just because it's more of a, like the defensive line spread more apart. So it's more of a pass rushing set. So like inside like 4 minutes, 2 minutes, when you know it's like they have to pass the ball, but they're coming out in like a two wide receiver set, that's when you would run like a nickel wide 9.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Arby's is a very pass heavy team that you don't respect their run game at all.
So they complete
This was crazy, bro. It's a part on the ooh, shifty. It's a part on the Minions movie. Yeah. Where the lady goes, cause the little minions love to eat bananas and shit. So the evil lady goes, banana. And so my son runs around the house going, nah, nah, nah. Like,
oh my goodness. Yeah, I just heard him doing that. I was like, what is he talking about?
His little badass. He don't want to say no other words, but he'll say shit from like movies and shit. Shit's funny.
That's funny.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one.
It'd be dope if more people would do this, you know, like get on in like lab shit, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem. Is just people are in like 5 leagues and they don't really have time to lab. They just have time to play their games.
Yeah, that's a
So they
fact.
don't ever have time to like install anything.
Because there's a reason we're down. At that point, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team, and just start the second half.
Yeah, he's over here tripping, bro. I'm not gonna be able to finish. But you think we
Oh,
got enough? You think we got some cool shit?
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you gotta do it, we can do it, man. If you want to go ahead and call it, it's up to you.
Yeah, I got you. He's over here throwing a tantrum and my wife's asleep, so I gotta
All right, bro.
attend to him.
For
Good shit,
sure.
though. I learned a lot, though, for sure. You gonna post this so I can rewatch it?
It's actually already it was on the wall.
Oh, okay, dope. All right, I'm gonna check it out, bro.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
All right, peace. All right, peace.
Peace, man. Alright, guys. So that was pretty much just showing you guys like our thought process while we're playing. It's actually easier to do when I'm not playing and when I'm like watching someone and so like say it was like Bdot versus Fern. Say okay, so Fern doesn't really understand football as well. So say I was in a chat party with Fern and I was kind of helping him like adjust to what Bdot was doing. That's how I think would be the best way for guys to learn is with guys that understand or have a little bit of knowledge, helping guys that need help with that kind of stuff. Because I get stuff in my inbox all the time, like, hey man, I'm having trouble because I don't understand like what I'm doing wrong on defense. You know, there's a lot of defensive questions. I'm not the biggest knowledgeable guy on defense. Larry Evans is really defensive minded. There's a lot of guys that know a lot more than me, but I do know the basics, so I can't help people out with the basics. Like if you're coming out and you've been getting run on and you're running nickel and he's already got 200 yards rushing in the first half. That probably means you need to adjust and run base more. You know, run your base 4-3, run your base. Stop running so much double high coverage. Run some single high coverage, because he's gonna keep exploiting your run defense if you're not adjusting to it. Same thing in the pass game. If you giving up 500 yards passing, you probably shouldn't come out in base against 3 wide receivers. You probably shouldn't come out and base against, 2 wide receivers if that's the case, just because you would want to come out and nickel or something. If it's 2 wide receivers, you want to come out nickel if you're getting beat in the pass game. If you're getting beat in the run game, you want to come out in base or something heavier. Just simple as that. And then covering up receivers is huge. Like, it was a time in that game where um, I came out in like weak slot, and I had a wide receiver in the slot that was uncovered. Well, what Bdot did is he brought that wide receiver or that cornerback over either through man line or some adjustment or manually. He brought that cornerback that was over there in no man's land. He brought him over to cover up that wide receiver. Another thing he could have done there, since I think that was covered too, so that what he could have done is he could have just moved a linebacker uh, over to cover that slot wide receiver up. So there's just adjustments in game that people just aren't aware of that are happening real time that just need practice with and need some guidance with. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. We'll go into the last thing before I end this. We'll go into the custom playbooks real quick and come up and just show you guys what I'm thinking when I'm talking about like game plan, setting your game plan. So we'll go into. I haven't really done this one that much yet, but we'll go into it and look at it anyways. So go over to my game plan. You'll see what I'm talking about. So they have a section for first down. And first down, since this is a run-heavy playbook, there's a lot of runs in here, right? But there's also some play-action passes because there's some situations once you get in game and establish a run game that you're going to need those play-action passes. There's also a couple like four verts and couple like shot plays in here that are going to kind of do the same thing, like play-action shot go, right? So if you need if you just want to surprise the defense, you'll come out in one of these shot plays and kind of try to just throw it over the top of the defense if they're biting on the run game. So second long. So these are some of the ideas that second and long I would want to come up with, and that's based on like my base concepts. Like so, smash. That's one of my base concepts. So there's a smash there. There's a smash there. Um, and then there's also some other concepts in here as well. One of the issues with under center is that there's not a lot of smash per se. So you want to find other stuff that it's going to do the same thing to a defense that smash does. Here's a switch concept right here. Here's a smash out of single back trips. So as you can see, and then there's an inside cross. So as you can see, like I have my base, what my base concepts are throughout this. And here's another smash, and this is for second and long. So if you go to second medium, so second medium, I'm thinking, okay, I'm at a distance where I can still run the ball, depending on clock and that kind of stuff. So I'm in a position where I can still run the ball, and so I'm going to run it first in this run heavy scheme that I have here, and then I also have some short passes that are most likely that can have the potential to turn into bigger plays, but at least bare minimum, if I make the right read, it could be a first down. So that's kind of what you're thinking on second medium is like, I can run the ball here, stick to my base, make it third and short, or maybe even get a first down from a run play, or I can run one of these passing concepts that's a shorter concept, a shallower concept, but it could turn into a big play if I make one person miss, or there's a broken coverage or something like that. Second short. So second short, man. Second short is one of those ones that you have most of your playbook to work with. You know what I mean? Because you can hit them with a screen. To try to, because what most people are thinking here is, okay, second short, they're going to run the ball, right? So what they're going to do is probably load the box. And if they load the box, you have your screen game open. You have your shot game open. This is where or you can just run the ball and get a first down. I mean, there's a lot of leeway when it comes to second short. But second short is one of those things that you need to learn how to call correctly, because you don't want to be too risky and throw an interception on second short. That's like swinging in baseball. That's like swinging at a pitch when you're ahead of the count, like 3 balls and no strikes. That's like swinging at a pitch that's out of the strike zone. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Just take your base. Just take your base. If you come out in second short and they got double high safety, they got double high safeties, and they're not really stacking the box, run the ball. There's no reason not to run the ball there. If they come out and they're loading the box, all right, then you probably want to check to a wide receiver screen or a shot play of some sort that has decent blocking, because you think they're going to be sending linebacker heat or sending some sort of heat. So like I said, I haven't really finished my play calls for all this yet, but third and long are times where you want to, oh wow, this is, oh, that's why, because, see here, edits. So third and long is where you want to have your plays that you can get off that give you the best chance to convert. Or if you are winning and ahead, you want to have your play it safe plays, like your halfback draws. You want to have your screens, your play it safe plays that you want to hit underneath. It could go for a possible first down, but it's not necessarily needed. If you're in field goal range already and it's third and long, you just want to give your kicker a better chance at making the kick. So you'll want to have plays in here, like these plays right here are not what I'm talking about. You want to have plays in third and long that are safer, like a draw, a screen, something like that that's just a little bit more safe, or like just shallower concepts that are a little bit more safe, that are going to give kicker a better chance at kicking a field goal, or even just giving your punter a better chance at pinning them deeper. And then third and medium. Third and medium's one of those, also one of those where you can come out and run the ball. You can come out and run the ball if you think that you can catch the defense off guard, so you can hit them with a draw here. But most of the time on third and medium, what you want to do is you want to try to get that first down. So either it be something underneath, um, something that has like a spot concept, that's something that's going to come in and sit inside of a zone and kind of sit right there at that first down marker. You know what I mean? That way it gives you an option um, on your reads to throw that. Third and short is definitely something that a lot of people struggle with, and that's just another one of those things. Like if it's double high safeties, take the run if it's there. You know what I mean? If you have hat count, take it. When in doubt, take the hat count. Yeah, you're gonna get some block sheds here and there, and you have to punt the ball. But when in doubt, you're most likely gonna convert there. Other than that, you could do like a quick slant, like how the Z spot play. You know how I said you want to find plays that correlate with your base concept. So in this playbook, one of the base concepts is spot. So you have spot on that right side, just like any other spot. But on the left side, you have a wheel and a quick slant by the wide receiver. So that would be a good play on third and short right there, because you have the flat from the spot, you have the sit down from the actual spot route, and then you have the wheel as well, and the backside slant. And then you get into the play actions and stuff like that as well, depending on the situation. Because on third and short, most people are going to be thinking run. So if you can hit them with a play action or something like that, it's going to catch them off guard. I haven't set up fourth and long and stuff like that, just because fourth down, unless it's in like a must situation, like in the fourth quarter or in no man's land, so like right outside of field goal range, um, and you don't want to risk the field goal, and it's like fourth and one, fourth and inches. These are the plays you would want to have in here, and that too is going to be almost similar. That would be fourth and short, so third and short would be similar to your fourth and short plays. Probably going to be fewer of those, just because fewer fourth and short plays, just because you got to really get those down. If you're going to if you're going to go for it on fourth down, you got to have a few plays that you have down to a T, that where you can call, and it's high percentage that you're going to complete it. That's what your fourth and short is. Inside the five, you'll have like your run plays, maybe a screen. I mean a wide receiver screen, that is, with like a slant on the backside or something. Just something that's going to give you, because at that point you can't really vertically stretch the field, so you got to stretch the field horizontally. So something like scat would work inside the five possibly. Something like double slants. Um, just plays like that. That sort of and also a bunch of all these run plays if you're in a run heavy scheme inside the five. So red zone plays. So this is like 50, like inside between the 5 and 20-yard line. You want to have like your concepts that are uh, going to get you closer to the end zone or possibly score you a touchdown at that point. So that's what you want to add in here. And then goal line. Goal line's going to be like your run heavy sets. You kind of like throw them off stuff, like your reverses and your pitches, your like certain stuff that's just in your playbook for certain situations. Like you're only going to call once or twice a game, like a toss. Like tosses are not ran, 50 or 20 times a game. Tosses are ran maybe twice a game, and it's situational. That's what tosses are meant for. Just the same with reverses, like they're meant for situational play calls. And then your goal line passes, which I haven't really set up. All this stuff's mostly still default. And like you go for two, like this goal line fade here would be a good red zone play. if your opponent's expecting you to run the ball, this would be a decent look to get to check to. Then you have like your X slant, same deal. Don't ever, by the way, while I'm in here, don't ever mess or add anything to Hail Mary or take anything away from Hail Mary. It'll glitch your playbook out. So don't ever touch that. And then you have your like 2-minute offenses. This was the base play that was in all of the formations, so I had to go back through and take that out. But you want like your 4 verticals, your stuff that gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds to try and save clock, right? So you want all your like floods, um, your fades, your stuff like that, stuff that where you can take the ball and get out of bounds pretty quick. You maybe even have a couple shot plays in here. Um, so yeah, I haven't really finished this playbook. Like I said, I just started it last night and worked on it a little bit today, but I haven't really finished it past that. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If you do check this out later, just let me know if you have questions. I appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, just hit me up with any questions. Make sure you get your games in. Week 5 is live in SSL. And if you haven't signed up for Discord, get on Discord. There's a lot of stuff we're putting in on Discord that's really cool. The streams automatically post on Discord, so you don't have to post your own stream to the wall anymore. They just automatically post to the Stream Links room. So there's a lot of cool stuff that is happening on Discord. The Daddy Leagues site is up. I did that a couple days ago. So it's up and you can use it. And also all the transactions that happen are being imported to Discord automatically as well through Daddy League. So like if anybody makes a trade or anybody drops a player, anything like that, those are showing up in that certain chat room for that on Discord. So like I said, I think we have 24 or 25 people on it right now. If we could get all 32, that'd be really cool. And then we can see how you guys like it. There's also places where you can voice chat. So like during the when we have our rookie drafts or when we certain times where you would use voice chat, like for radio shows, whatever. Um, for lab games, stuff like that, you can use it in there as well. Or if you need help, like in game, while you're in game, you could chat with somebody on there about it. But yeah, just check it out. Let me know if you need the invite link or anything like that. But appreciate you guys listening. I'm out.